Good day, guys. Welcome to another episode of Custom Restore Mods. You are with the second episode of the Hillman Avenger project. If you haven't watched the first episode, you can always go back to our channel and watch the first episode. I have explained why we are doing this. If you can see, we have taken out the old suspension of the Hillman Avenger, the engine. So we are starting with this with the 1G FE engine. To do that, we have to cut out this part of the firewall. We have marked this because the head clashes with the firewall, so we are cutting it out before we put the engine. And the next thing is we have to modify the Toyota crossbar to match the width of the Hillman Avenger chassis. That's what we are doing right now. This is the Toyota crossbar where the engine mounts will be mounted, the engine will be mounted, so it has to be fabricated properly. So now we have fabricated the crossbar and we are ready to put the 1G FE engine into this. We have covered out the firewall. So we are going to lift the car and put the engine under it and lift it up like this. So we have aligned the engine properly. You have to make sure it doesn't hit anything in the engine bay and it's centered properly. So we have done that. You have to make sure there's enough room for the radiator fans and everything, for the radiator as well. So when you are bolting, this is a crossbar we have fabricated to match the width of the Hillman Avenger chassis. So we are fabricating a bracket to the chassis, so it will be bolted in. So for any repair, for any sort of a thing, you can take it out. That is very important. When you are building a car, you have to make sure, you have to think of the other mechanic, how he's going to do it, not how you're going to do it only. So that is what we are doing. So everything is bolted, so at any occasion anybody can take it out. This is the subframe for the gearbox mount will be mounted. So we have welded it temporarily, the crossbar brackets to the chassis, you can see. This is just temporarily until we do a proper weld. We have to mock up everything before we do this. So the next challenge is mounting the suspension system, the Toyota suspension system to the Hillman Avenger. The Hillman Avenger came up with a mono wishbone system, and this has come with a dual wishbone system. So there's no brackets for the upper arm, and even for the lower arm we have to fabricate some brackets. So this is what we are doing right now. If you can see, this is the upper arm, and we have fabricated the entire shock absorber column, strengthened it with these brackets to make sure it carries the strength to hold the upper arm and the tensions it brings when you are cornering and everything. The shock it has to be matched with the shock absorber length and everything. It is very important when you are doing this, you do the proper math, you do the proper measurement. Otherwise your car will go sideways because you won't be able to align your wheels. You have to make sure your wheel bases are parallel and everything. Otherwise everything is doomed, guys. So we are pretty sure about our measurements and we are pretty sure our wheel alignment is correct. So now we are welding the brackets I showed you before for the upper arm into the chassis of this Hillman Avenger. I'm telling you again, this is very important you measure it properly because there's no manual for what we do right here. But you have to make sure, you have to know what you're doing. You have to know how the suspension operates. Otherwise you won't be able to do this. You have to know how the suspension travels, how much it travels, whether it will hit anything, how much is the car's turning radius and everything else. You have to take everything into account when you are doing this. This is the bracket for the lower arm, the Toyota lower arm. So we have thrown in the wheels in. We are pretty sure that everything will work fine. because we have done the measurements and done the drawings before we took it out of the whiteboard. So the whiteboard is back of the garage, so can't show you right now. So everything is in place, and we are ready to put the car down. I will show you how it goes in a minute, and voila. So it's down, it's on the ground. If you can see, there are no issues with the wheel alignment or everything. There's no negative or positive camber at the moment, because anyway there's no camber adjustment in the front wheel. But if you haven't done the suspension properly, the camber will be an issue. There will be a negative or a positive camber, so it's neutral right now. So thank you very much for watching, guys. If you like the video, put a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. We'll catch you up with another video. Thank you, guys.